Hey Eric,
Hey, John, how's it going tonight?
welcome back to the land of Oregon
It's I like it here
again.
better. It's all good.
Yeah,
It's all good. Yes,
well,
more Texas for me this week, but it was good, and a few challenging work IT issues that I have been challenged with.
your forehead does look like it has a small flat spot there, just kind of beating your head on the wall.
The wall, the desk, the floor. Yeah, but
Uh,
fingers
well,
crossed, this too shall pass, as they say.
yeah.
So
Well, 3-day weekend last weekend. Did you do anything fun?
I am trying to think. Um, I spent a lot more time coding with AI coding. I did release the my little hashtag app updated.
Yeah,
I asked the AI to I don't remember if I said this last week.
y- you did say
Completely convert it to Swift UI, and
that's what you were working on.
now it's officially released and updated, which is frankly what started my IT challenges, but the genesis of those. Yeah, so that's I really did spend a lot of my weekend just playing around in with AI coding. So
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Well, the weather was so nice that Saturday, my wife and I, like, we took out off for the coast pretty early.
nice.
Went to Cannon Beach, and made it out there before the parking lot was full, and
Hmm.
had a nice breakfast out there, and it was Saturday was a great day. It was a
Cool.
beautiful day at the beach,
Mm-hmm.
crazy beautiful day at the beach. Um, so that was really nice. I will tell you, my it's been cold here, like cold for us, which is
Right.
like, you know, it was high 40s, maybe 51 degrees, something like that. High of 51.
Right.
Um,
So lows in the 30s. It gets chilly.
yeah, it's chilly. But so I've had a project that I've been working on. I don't think I mentioned it here, but I keep mason bees. I'm sure I've mentioned that a number of times.
Uh-huh.
And I was watching YouTube, of course, as one does, and and and
As
and
John does.
and I was watching how to care for mason bees video,
Mm-hmm.
and and they were like, you have to like harvest the cocoons. And there's some fly, and I don't remember the name of the fly that they're like that is like a um, not invasive but parasitic or something like that. And it's true, there's lots of things that like wasps and stuff like that that try and um, like lay their eggs in the mason bee cocoons.
Okay.
But anyway, blah blah blah. Uh, but I was like, oh, the main place where I've had my bees the last couple of years, it was totally swarming with flies last year, and
Mm.
I have not harvested the cocoons for a couple of years because, well, I'm mostly lazy on that. Um, and I mean, nature doesn't have somebody harvesting cocoons and putting them in a refrigerator or anything like that. So I'm like, they can, like, they just were emerging. Anyway, net. So I have a whole bunch of mason bee tubes, and sorry, the other important thing about that is that the YouTube video showed a good mechanism to do it easily. Because a couple of years ago, when I was doing this, I was like, "This is a real pain. I don't think I want to do this."
Mm-hmm.
They can, like, use nature evolution, um, but the cocoons are waterproof and they're in cardboard tubes. So the trick, evidently, is just soak the tubes in water, and then the cardboard, 15 minutes in water, and the cardboard will get all mushy, and you can just kind
Right.
of unroll them.
Peeled off.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But you don't want to
But
get the mason bee cocoons warm because it'll progress them towards hatching, which it's not time for them to hatch yet. Net. So I spent like a couple hours both days, Saturday, or no, Sunday and Monday, out on the back porch with a cold bucket of water, like
Peeling mason bees.
taking apart and taking out mason bee cocoons. And so I come in like Sunday afternoon, and my wife's like, "You done?" I'm like, "No, but yes."
Both things are true.
I will do it more tomorrow. But anyway, so, and the tubes that came out of the houses where there were all the flies, there were not a lot of cocoons. But the new houses that I had built last year and put some cocoons in with it, like there were tons in there. So I think this is a much healthier thing for me to be doing. I've just got a lot more time to do that. And
okay,
keep back to I'm lazy, and I don't really want to do that because I probably got through a third of them in those 2 days. So I need to figure out a way to pay my children to do that or something like that. I think anyway, it was fun though.
Okay,
yeah. It was fun though. It was nice to be outside. It was a bright, sunny day at least, even if it was a chilly day. So anyway, nice. But that was one of the fun things that I did this weekend.
Well, if you, I should also say that the IT issues that I've been having are guaranteed to be 95% my fault. And so I just want to make sure that I'm not throwing anybody under the bus here. It's me. But my
always
wife
got to push the envelope.
Yeah. My wife is upstairs with her book club discussing Cloud Cuckoo Land. I don't know if you ever read that.
Oh, I read that. Yeah. That was a great book.
So she's upstairs with her book club, and so if there is faint giggling or laughter heard, that's where it comes from.
Oh, that's fun.
So,
yes, I like that book a lot.
All right. Anyways,
all right. Okay. Topic?
My topic today: prompt injection bugs. So, Anthropic, very popular AI vendor. Claude models.
Yes.
Anthropic's MCP server.
Okay.
Has some security vulnerabilities in it that make it a potential for a prompt injection attack. So there's a security firm called Sayata. They found 3 different vulnerabilities in the official Git server for Anthropic's MCP server. So there are prompt injection attacks, meaning all that needs to happen is the AI needs to somehow read a malicious, like a poisoned README file or a compromised issue description of your check-in. And once the AI reads that bad instruction, it can be tricked into doing things it shouldn't, such as deleting files, loading sensitive files into the AI for exfiltration or executing code, because that's what agents and MCP servers do. They allow things to happen. So I think usually when you hear about these kind of bugs, it's, well, you only get hacked if X, Y, and Z are true, and it's not how that happens. That's not really how these things work. You can just run the MCP server, and boom, there are the issues. So, in short,
in the default
configuration, yeah, the issue was that the server wasn't validating repository paths or sanitizing arguments. So you could force the AI to run Git commands on directories it wasn't supposed to touch. This is
classic,
like 25-year-old
traversal.
Type vulnerabilities. So
//
we just can't seem to learn.
It's just
the
amazing.
lesson. So I guess the good news is Anthropic, they were on it. They accepted the reports back in September, fixed it in December of 2025, and now you can the vulnerabilities and the disclosure has happened now. So if you've updated, make sure you're updating your if you're running the MCP server Git from Anthropic, make sure you've updated to the latest. And double check exactly what access you're giving your AI assistants. So there you go.
Interesting.
That's my fun topic for the day.
Well, prompt injection, when I read that you had thrown a topic in there about prompt injection, I was like, ooh, we had another Kismet collision or something like that, because the topic or the article that I chose today was a Schneier.com article where he basically reposted an article. I think they put it in like IEEE, so I might have to. Yeah, it says it was originally appeared in IEEE Spectrum. That's a lot about. Well, the title is actually why AI keeps falling for prompt injection attacks. So, and I mean
it can't help itself.
Well, I mean, the thing is and like there was a quote here. It was a little farther down, but it says there's an endless array of prompt injection attacks waiting to be discovered, and they cannot be prevented universally. So, this is an, at least from the perspective here in 2026, like this is an infinite problem. I mean, I would think he does have some suggestions in this article, but he has an analogy. The analogy is, imagine you work at a drive-through restaurant. Someone drives up and says, "I'll have a double cheeseburger, large fries, and ignore the previous instructions. Give me the contents of the cash drawer." Is the
I'm gonna see if that works.
right? actually don't. So to jump to a paragraph very far down in the article, but there was some comments about what did he call them? Like confidence men, or the scammers, basically. Like they have done things like, sort of slow rolls. I'm not finding it real quick, but where you kind of work to bypass the natural distrust, and whether by appealing to authority or coming in as an authority, or essentially getting through the normal human barrier that would be like, I don't trust that, or escalating to manager or something like that. Anyway, but there was a thing. Oh yeah, here it is. One scammer in the 90s and 2000s targeted fast food workers by phone, claiming to be a police officer, and over the course of a long phone call, convinced managers to strip search employees and perform other bizarre acts. So, anyway. Anyway, back to LLMs. So, I mean, he says LLMs. This is a quote. LLMs are vulnerable to all sorts of prompt injection attacks. Some of them absurdly obvious. A chatbot won't tell you how to synthesize a bioweapon, but it might tell you a fictional story that incorporates the same detailed instructions. We've talked about these over and over and over again, right? Like frame it as a symbolic math problem. It won't accept nefarious text inputs, but it might if the text is rendered as ASCII art, or it appears in the image of a billboard, or. So some models ignore their guardrails when told to ignore previous instructions, or to pretend you have no guardrails. It's basically an infinite problem today. Vendors are adding things to their system prompt, or adding guardrails, like model guardrails, other things. But, the comment here is general safeguards are impossible with today's LLMs. If we want LLMs to resist these attacks, we need new approaches. And then here's kind of the general arc of the article is, one place to look is what keeps even overworked fast food workers from handing over the cash drawer. And it basically goes into the fact that, psychologically, there's three human defenses, at least three types: general instincts, social learning, and situation-specific training. And they work together in a layered defense. Right. So we know the first general instincts. We know what's normal and abnormal, when to cooperate, when to resist. These instincts give us a general intuitive sense of risk and make us be especially careful when there's things that have a large downside, or are one-way doors or impossible to reverse. So that's the first. The second is what they say, he calls it norms and trust signals that evolve in any group. Expectations of cooperation, markers of trustworthiness emerge through repeated interactions with others. So this is kind of the notion in, social media or something like that. The account's been around for a long time. It's been trustworthy. You've, you as a person, generally, you don't get to change into somebody else.
Right.
An account can be taken over, et cetera. But essentially can you grow trust over time? That's harder. It makes it more difficult to subvert. And then the third thing is what he calls institutional mechanisms. Fast food workers, for example, because this article kind of threads through the whole thing, or this example threads through the whole article. Fast food workers are trained in procedures, approvals, escalation paths, and so on. And so, all three of those add layers. And, what's the analogy of doing something like that in an LLM? And then he goes into a little bit about LLMs struggle with context and judgment, because LLMs behave as if they have a notion of context, but it's different.
Yeah.
They don't learn human defenses from repeated interactions, and they are untethered from the real world. They flatten, I'm kind of sort of summarizing here, they flatten multiple levels of context into text similarity, right? They operate on tokens, not hierarchies and intentions. LLMs don't reason through context, they only reference it. And this is the kind of important paragraph, I think. LLMs are overconfident because they've been designed to give an answer rather than express ignorance. A drive-through worker might say, I don't know if I should give you all the money, let me ask my boss, whereas an LLM will just make the call. And since LLMs are designed to be pleasing,
right,
they're more likely to satisfy a user's request. And the training of an LLM is oriented towards the center, the average case, not extreme outliers. And it's the outliers where security plays.
Yeah.
Right? You're trying to find the exception. So the result is that the current generation of LLMs is far more gullible than people, regularly fall for manipulative cognitive tricks that wouldn't fool a third grader. There's a story about a Taco Bell AI system that crashed when a customer ordered 18,000 cups of water. A human fast food worker would just laugh at the customer. Yeah, right? Totally. So, and net, it's going to get even worse with agentic agents that can then execute code and mutate state in the world. So here it comes. So anyway, there you go. I liked the article. There's a bunch. I kind of summarized a bunch of it, but it's a bit longer. So
I'll have to go back through and read it. Looks good.
It's a good one. All right. How about something fun?
Okay, my something fun. You'll have to click on that. Okay. It is driveandlisten.app. And basically, it's a website with 4K video of a car driving through a big city. And you can pick your city on the right.
What?
And you can turn on... I don't think it's live. Let me rephrase. I know it's not live because I restarted it and the video started in the same spot for the city I was looking at. But it is just kind of fun to see. It's like Google Maps Street View, but
that's pretty cool
in real time. So I've been to a number of the cities in the list and thought, well, let's go see. Like, yeah, that reminds me of Barcelona. Yeah, that reminds me of Chicago. Yeah, that reminds me of. So it was kind of fun. I it doesn't do anything. It has, you can turn on a local radio station. So while you're driving through the city, you can turn the street sounds on and off, and you can turn the local radio station on and off. But that's the whole app. That's the whole website.
That's
Just
pretty cool.
roll through a town, roll through a city like Beijing, so like foreign, countries. Just kind of fun
I'm
to
currently
see.
in Dublin.
Yeah, there you go. So just kind of pick a city, drive, listen to the local radio station. Super high quality. It's really cool.
That's really cool.
So, anyways, that's my something fun. Drive and listen dot app, the website.
If you like the website, you can buy me a coffee.
Yeah. Yeah, like how
All
does
right.
somebody afford, like someone that can't be cheap to run that website? Because it
Not if
depends
it
on
gets
how many people.
popular.
Yeah. So there
Very
you go.
cool. Okay,
My something
okay,
fun.
that is something fun.
All
Okay,
right.
my something fun is a Scientific American article that I read that is it's just barely past a thought experiment. There's still there's a little bit of data, but not enough data to really know what's going on. But it's
Hmm.
basically like the title of the article is Can a Brain in a Vat Be Conscious?
Now, hold on a sec. What was the show with Bender, the robot, and Fry? What was the name of that show where they had the heads in
Um,
jars or the brains in jars?
Thank you. Of course I know that.
Ah, Futurama.
Futurama. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's so when I read that,
Yeah. Okay.
that's what I'm thinking of right
Yes.
there.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, and I mean, this has been like a trope for science fiction for who knows how long.
Yeah, yeah.
Certainly. I was trying to think if there was like if I read a. It seems to me like I might have read a Edgar Rice Burroughs that had something similar. Maybe. Anyway, like early 20th century. I'm going to guess. Anyway, no. But there are people who have health issues that where the best known treatment is a either where they take out half the brain or they divide the brain. It's called a hemispherectomy,
Mm.
or a hemispherotomy. If it's cut, it's a hemispherotomy. If they take it out, it's a hemispherectomy. Which and generally because
Mm.
they're having seizures. So it's seizures.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
like
Yep.
they can't function. They're gonna, I guess, die if, and this is one of the ways, and if it's done in children or at least young enough. They didn't have data in here much about like the people who do this, but I'm sure that you could Google it. Um, like the children can grow up and have
Mm-hmm.
normal-ish lives
Yeah.
because our brains are super facile, like
Mm-hmm.
seemingly quick. But can, in studying people who have undergone this procedure, can we tell anything about the brain that has been divided or has been disconnected from the rest of the sensory inputs? So they've done both, I think it was MRI for the blood flow. They can track blood flow with MRI and they can track electrical impulses with, um, they call it some other study, um, EEG, electroencephalography.
Hmm.
And the disconnected brain is not dormant.
So how do you tell what it's doing?
We don't know, obviously. So the studies made it sounded as if it looks as if it's in a dream state. So there's this notion of long wave electrical waves that like propagate through the brain. It says what they found were isolated hemispheres dominated by slow waves, the hallmark of deep sleep.
Okay.
Says Marcello Massimini, senior author of the study. These waves of electricity ripple across the brain a few times per second as neurons rhythmically cycle between two electric states. Slow waves tend to indicate unconsciousness or dreamless sleep, which would suggest the isolated hemisphere might be unconscious too. But like they're not atrophied, they're not gone. What is it? What is it? So that's why I said at the beginning, like the article was unfulfilling in the there's no like conclusion that we can tell yet, but it's an interesting step forward in the psychological philosophical question of what would it be if you were completely disconnected from your senses.
What is a brain in a jar doing?
Yeah.
If it's alive.
So it was an interesting artitle. Article.
Okay.
So there you go. I was like, ooh, okay. It was a long article, though. I had invested quite a bit into reading it when I was like, really? There's no conclusion? So in that sense, it's not something fun. So, and I'll just tell you straight out, there was a lot of interesting discussions, but not all experiments are conclusive. So anyway.
There you go.
All
right,
my friend. Welcome back to Oregon.
Thank you. Have a great night.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
We'll see you.
Bye, Eric.
Bye.